This is refluxed. It should have been refluxing long enough that the solvent is reasonably dry. I'm taking it off the heat for now, so this is about 80 degrees. You can still touch it with a glove. Nice vigorous boil. As soon as it slows down, and I don't want it to be actively boiling when I do this switch out, because I want to protect the whole thing from any moisture from the atmosphere. But once it's cooled down slightly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up. So these are basically fresh from the oven. We're going to have this here. Oh, actually, I need a clamp. Okay, so here we have a clamp. I'm going to set this up right now. Change this whole thing around. We need this here. Take this. Connect it here. It's nice and snug. And over here. All right. So now ideally we'll also want a cooling apparatus down here. It's lower than it was. I'm going to increase the water flow.
Okay.
To get more efficient cooling. So here we go. That's better. I do want these. Careful not to freeze joints here. So about securing this, it's not always necessary to secure it. In fact, sometimes it's desirable to just use gravity to hold these joints steady. You can see that the clamp, this opened just now. The clamp puts pressure on the whole system. So ideally you actually only have the clamps that are necessary. That helps to keep everything closed and air-free. All right, so we're ready to carry out our distillation. The one thing that we need is to close this and put it, protected from any moisture from the air. So it's open to air through the drying tube. Okay. Otherwise, otherwise it's a closed system. And then since we're going to be collecting solvent, we would like to have an ice bath here.
So let's go get some ice.
Okay, so a couple of things. I want you to notice that both of these are kind of cheats. The septum is actually designed to go. So the septum is upside down. This normally would go inside a 1420 joint, but we do, all we need is a reasonable seal. So I often do this. Same thing here. You want a good seal here, okay? And I'm doing this one with the inside of the septum. Okay, so we're gonna lower both of these. Where it can be handy to have an extra pair.
Do you need hands?
I think I'm okay now. Alright. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so now the trick here is going to be to raise this very small. Maybe we don't even need to raise it. Let's see if we can get this down in here. Okay. Make sure all joints. This is very important. Make sure all joints are tight here. So this one, these are clamped. That one, if any of them are open, you're going to your system's going to receive moisture from the atmosphere. It's going to receive air, which does have moisture in it. And the whole idea of this distillation is to remove moisture from our solvent, so remove water from our solvent. But I think that we should be all set now. It's just a matter of allowing this to come back to boiling temperature, and it's going to start boiling in here. It's going to condense when it gets into the condenser area where the cold water is flowing, and then it's going to drip down into your receiver flask, and it should be dry solvent. It's really important also not to distill to dryness, as we say. In other words, we want there to be a little bit of solvent left over in here because we still have sodium here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so only a small amount of our sodium reacted, actually, and the rest should not be heated in air. That's important for safety reasons. Otherwise, I think we're set to go. So in a few minutes, this should start boiling, and we'll start seeing distillation. Okay, so this is boiling now. It's nice. We've got a giant reflux ring right here. One thing that we sometimes do to expedite the distillation process is to insulate this whole area here. And so what we would do, we would take some cotton or glass wool and wrap it around this adapter here, and then use a layer of oil around that. That will also help to hold it in place.
Do you need my hands for this?
No, that's fine. Yeah, I'd say that the part that does sometimes need an extra pair of hands is adjustment of 2 or more pieces on 2 different ring stands. This is straightforward, but we're already seeing the solvent entering the condenser, so this should be a pretty quick process. Here it goes.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so now it's just a matter of waiting, and again, leave about 10-15 milliliters, 10 milliliters, I think, of solvent into your source flask here, so that the sodium doesn't go dry. That's very important.